votes are in. They've been counted and verified. There's no ballot stuffing. There's no foul play. The only red wave this season is going to be a German Shepherd commander knocks over the cranberry sauce on our table.
I was talking over the daggone sock. Oh, here we go. The president. Look, a lot of people are suffering right now, and making light of it just does not make sense to me. Thanksgiving is this week, and for some families, it means making a traditional dish with those that you love. And for some families, it does not. Some people just don't have it, and not everyone will get a chance to celebrate this year. We know that inflation is surging. People are finding it harder and harder and harder to make ends meet. So here are the percent increases for Thanksgiving dishes. Here we go. Right here, turkey up by 24%, mashed potatoes 20%, salad 9%, cranberries 18%, and pie 75%. Now, why is that pie being up by 75%? That should just be criminal right there. Just, I can't deal with it all. Why? Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, the victory lap over the midterms is getting tired. I'm not gonna lie, and obviously you and I are both happy that the Republicans didn't completely bomb them in the House and take over the Senate. Like, that's great. I think more importantly, it's something that portends to a sign that there are actually consequences for the actions of extremist right wingers. That's nice to know, like that you will actually have a price to pay for being as extremist as some of the stuff around abortion and the craziness with the election, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the Dems, it's not as if they've acquitted themselves in such a way that is like exemplary. They got, man, the stuff that's happening to them down in Florida is scary. The losses they took in New York State, my home state or ex-home state where I'm from, which were greatly impacted by corruption and foolishness from the Democratic Party apparatus, right? Like, these folks need to get on one accord about what it is they think they're gonna do to lead the country forward. And the idea that Joe Biden is taking a victory lap and tap dancing up there is ridiculous.
It is, and later in the show, we are gonna highlight Dr. Reverend Barber's letter to the Democratic Party, and he highlights exactly what you said, which is, slow your roll. You guys are getting a little too happy about something that
too big for your britches.
That's it, too big for your britches. That's what grandma would say, don't get too big. Don't get too big for your britches. There's another grandma saying. And let's check out some of the most expensive places in the United States to have a Thanksgiving meal. And we see that Boston, Cambridge, urban Honolulu, New York, New Jersey City, Seattle, Tacoma, Washington, Arlington, Alexandria area, and San Francisco. And look what it is, what the average meal costs. And sometimes some of us may look at those numbers and say that's not a lot. No, it is a lot when people are barely trying to scrape by. We just did a show earlier this week that showed how the fuel heating prices for homes are going up. And it is really hard for people to live these days. And just because folks are surmounting the hurdle does not mean that there was not a hurdle there. Let me say that one more time. Just because people are surmounting the hurdle does not mean that they did not have a hurdle to jump. Some people are just opting out of eating because groceries are more expensive. Now, we need food, we need water, and we need air. Why is this happening in this hegemonic nation? This headline, it could be cheaper to dine out on Thanksgiving this year as CPI, food at home prices soar. Now, who ever heard of that? Usually it is the opposite, but that is what is happening right now. And while Thanksgiving is a fun tradition, we need to remember this, that people are going hungry. They are. That people can't heat their homes. They can't. And people can't afford to go to the doctor. They cannot. In fact, some US states opted out of nearly $4 billion in emergency funds that would have helped the poorest residents. Yeah, you heard me right, opted out of helping people. The US struggles to pay for food. No matter how well you budget, you will run out of something. So people going hungry it should be a non-starter in the United States of America. Makes no sense to me. And furthermore, 10 million Americans are spending 50% of their income on housing costs. Let's put up this chart. How much of their incomes American American renters spend on housing costs in 2020. And you see it right there. Now, when people are spending that much money on housing and then you add in the other expenses, that's really not living. That's just barely scraping by. So, Mr. President, please take this seriously. We are in a crisis moment, and this is no time to celebrate and to be backslapping. Kansas or Houston, what am I calling Kansas for? Houston, we have a problem. Yeah, we do. We need to get it straightened out. Wise, I don't know. I mean,
yeah. Look, you want the president to show a certain level of levity every now and again to the people, but I'd like to see him point out what his opponents and his enemies in the other party, how they get this stuff wrong and what he's trying to do to make things better for folks this holiday season. Obviously, the cost of food is just crazy, and nobody who watches TYT will be surprised to learn that a lot of it is price gouging from mega corporations who are just like, oh, there's inflation happening? Oh, snap, we need to jack up our prices. Our prices aren't jacked up enough. Let's take advantage of this wave. And yeah, people are getting killed with those prices. And just the last thing I would say to folks out there, a lot of times for many of us, the holidays is a time to celebrate, to be with family and all of that. Some people don't have a lot of family. Some people have lost family, and the holidays is a reminder of that. So, if you get an inkling that anybody in your life or close to you might not have people to hang out with for the holidays, reach out to them, tell them you save them a seat and a plate, because it's the kind of things we need to do to support each other.
Yeah, amen to that, Wise. Holidays are not always happy for everybody. And as a matter of fact, suicide rates go up around this time of year, especially around Christmas, because people are so stressed and depressed. And when you add the pandemic to it, it just exacerbates every other thing that people just go through naturally, and also with inflation. So Wise is exactly right. Let us remember the people who have greater needs than us, shall we?